time to sort of have a look around the rest of the league. What did you make of the Mariners, and how was it sort of having a first round?
Yeah, it was something different, something that we haven't experienced before. Central Coast, they've had to do a lot of work in the preseason, lost a lot of their, good players from last season, but they've, seemed to have replaced them. They've had I suppose, a good pre-season in that they've had a lot of games with the Champions League in Asia as well. So, on the other night, their game in China, I thought they were very good.
How do you take advantage of that, Carl? You're fresh and they were in China on Tuesday.
Yeah, look, it's always, as you say, we're fresh in that we haven't had a game, but it always takes, 3 or 4 games before you sort of get up to speed, and they've had that. So, I wouldn't expect them to, be too tired from their trip. They did it last year and they did it successfully last year. So, look, we know it's going to be a tough game, and, we're really looking forward to it.
As far as the first round goes that you weren't involved in, how do you spend that? Do you watch a lot of games? Do you phase it out completely? What does it look like for you personally? Yeah,
look, always watching, the other teams in the A-League. It's, I suppose, with only 6 games a week, it's easy enough to sort of watch them all. We're always taking an interest in what the other teams are doing. Our focus now is, last week was just to focus for Central Coast. We've had a good week on the training track to ease the boys down a little bit because we've trained extremely hard this pre-season. So the boys are keen and really looking forward to playing in front of their home fans tomorrow.
In terms of your team, obviously Bart Brings hasn't been named in the squad. How far away do you think he is?
Yeah, look, Bart will be joining full training next week. So if he has one more box to tick tomorrow at training. Once he ticks that off, he'll join with the team on Monday, full training, and hopefully he'll be available for Wanderers next week.
And so Jordan Elsey wasn't out there. Is he injured?
Look, Jordan picked up a small injury this week, so he won't be available for tomorrow, which is unfortunate. He's worked extremely hard coming back from the ACL, and this is the risk when you come back from ACL injuries that generally you will pick up a smaller injury, which Jordan has to his leg. So he'll be out for a couple of weeks most probably.
I mean, Isaiah's obviously spent a lot of time with centre back in pre-season. Does that almost make it a pretty simple decision for you to play? Yeah, look,
as you said, Isuzu's played nearly all of our pre-season games, so that's as a central defender. So that's I hadn't made that final decision on how we were going to start yet. So look, Isuzu is more than capable of playing there, and he's shown that in the Australia Cup earlier this year.
When you look around the squad, you always punched above your weight historically, but Craig a couple of years ago, Nestor last year, you're lacking a bit of star power, a match winner or two.
Yeah, look, I suppose when you look at our squad, we've got a young squad. That's where the club is at the moment. The club aren't really financing us to be able to go and bring in some high quality players. So look, we have to make do with what we're producing here, and I'm happy to be doing that. But our expectation has to be in line with that.
In the letter to the fans, Nathan said that the goal of the board is to make top 4. Do you think that you've got the squad to make top 4?
Yeah, look, I have very big confidence in the squad. But you're just a couple of injuries away from being in with a lot of our younger players, which we showed in the Australia Cup when we had a few players out. So look, we're the same as a lot of teams. Your first 11 is very strong, and then we're relying on our younger players to be that fill those roles when our main 11 aren't playing.
How much pressure does that sort of public expectation put on you and seeing them come?
Yeah, look, it's something that I've had to deal with the whole time I've been at the club. I'm happy to take that pressure. I'm happy to play and give the opportunities to young South Australian players. I've done that since first day in charge at the club, and I'll do that the whole time that I'm here. And I think that's important that we provide that pathway for our young players. And I've made my For it's very clear to the club that the players that we do bring in have to be high quality, and at times we haven't got that right, and we'll see this year.
Saying that, it seems every year we come into a season that everyone goes, Adelaide United aren't going to make finals. How's that sit with you? A lot of the time you defy that.
Yeah, look, going back to the question before, people said we weren't going to score many goals last year, losing, Craig and not replacing him. This year, they're saying because we've lost Hiroshi and Nesta, haven't really replaced them, that we're not going to score again. But last year we were the leading goal scorers in the league. We have confidence in the style of football that we play, that we'll score goals.
Giancarlo Italiano last year said that he put predictions of Wellington finishing at the bottom of the ladder in the change room. Do you look to do anything like that? Not everyone said that you're going to finish bottom, but for people that are predicting you guys to finish outside the 60th, recreate that.
No, we don't need any outside motivation. We are pretty strong in the team. I think you can see there's been a big shift in the team dynamics this season. They have a very strong bond. They don't need outside motivation. They've got their own motivation on their goals that they've set for themselves individually and as a team.
You've obviously changed up things with the leadership group as well. What does that look like for you?
Yeah, look, it's I think important that the more senior players help the younger players, and we've always sort of had that, especially when Craig was here. Look, it's something that's good for the younger players to be able to lean on some more senior players that can give them an experience in what they've done in their careers. So look, it's good in that way. At the end of the day, I expect all players to be able to show some leadership when they play football.
You talk about managing expectations. With the shape of the squad and what you're doing, you're worried about an injury might bring you down. Is consistency the main thing that you're looking for, just to try and find some consistency? Yeah,
I think that's the key. Last year we were quite inconsistent when we were good. We would score quite a few goals, but then then the dip in the form was too big last year. So this year, we've really worked on our principles of play and really drilled it into the players, so we can get that more consistent performances week in, week out.
Ryan spoke yesterday about, obviously you spoke previously about there being a slightly different system. He defined it as sort of less transitional. What are the principles of that new system for you?
Yeah, look, it's, we still want to attack, we still want to score goals. That's our main threat for us, but in that we won't be so open in those transition moments, because the A-League is a high transition league. So it's important that we get our shape right and our principles right in stopping those big transition moments like you would have saw in a lot of our games last year, where we were quite open and it was a lot of end-to-end stuff. So hopefully we can limit those opportunities for the opposition to transition against us.
Is that a fitness issue, or is it just explaining to the young players that it's not all about attack?
Yeah, no, it's not a fitness issue. The boys are very fit. We train extremely hard. This year from last year we always improve 10 to 15% on our fitness-based levels. So it's not a fitness issue. It's more just a game sense, which is we're still learning those young players. When is the right time to attack, and when is the right time to keep the ball? So and getting our shape right of pressing and making sure we press from the front.
So no handball for you this year? No handball?
Look, we'll still play high pressing. That's something that we've always done, and it's important that when the forwards are pressing, that the defenders are coming behind them to limit that space. And maybe last year, we opened that space far too many times.